Episode 301. So Haley meets Randy at Uptown. She's telling him that the poison he gave her is finally working because Bill's hand has started to tremble, and then they start daydreaming about what they're going to do with the $10 million from Bill's life insurance. And see, that's where they're going wrong. When you guys sit there and daydream about something that hasn't happened yet, maybe you need to sit back, because we all know in life, nothing goes as planned most of the time. And just because Bill's hand is trembling, they don't know if he'll catch what's going on in time. He could go and get some more testing done and find out that he's being poisoned. So they look real stupid daydreaming too early. I mean, it's too early for all that. Next, Bill is talking to Caroline about when he first met Haley, and if he only knew that Haley is up at Uptown with her cousin talking about your butt and how they gonna get your money from life insurance, he would look real stupid. Next, Haley and Randy start reminiscing about when they first saw each other in town, and Haley told Randy that she was trying to do some research on Joey Armstrong, which I found that interesting because Haley came to town with Joey on the mind as a target, but Randy told her, no, that's not achievable. I got a target for you. And so he shows her Bill's picture on his phone and tells her that Bill is her target and that he's loaded. And so Randy tells her too that Bill is the perfect mark and that he has a daughter around her age. And so he can get into Bill's life by Haley befriending that daughter, which was Naomi. Next, Naomi is at the country club with Chelsea, and she remembers how Haley purposely met her at a Pilates class. And Haley tells Naomi that she's new in town and that she's looking for an apartment. Well, she's looking for an apartment and she doesn't have any friends in town. And so Naomi, being a good person, they exchanged numbers, and that was the beginning of the end of Naomi's family. And so Chelsea and Naomi talk about how well their parents get along now. And Naomi says that she will never be friends with Haley again. And I wouldn't expect her to. If she did try to be friends with Haley again, I would be looking at her sideways, because what Haley did, that needs to be dragged all up and down the damn street, because she intentionally targeted Naomi to destroy her family. So Naomi says that she didn't realize that Haley was just pumping her for information. And so she remembers how she told Haley about her dad cheating on her mother. And in hindsight, she wished like hell she didn't. That was Haley's end to her father. Next, Haley tells Randy how desperate Naomi was for a friend to vent her problems to, and that there she was, and that she was just too convenient. And yeah, it happens to the best of us, especially if a no good person with bad intentions catches you when you're vulnerable, like Haley did to Naomi. So Haley reminisces to the first time she met Danny and how Danny invited her to the country club for dinner. And she says that Danny was so pathetic. She says that all Danny had going for her was her children. And and that's not what all Danny had going for her. Danny is a Dupree, so she had a lot more going for her than her children. Actually, Haley is the pathetic one. She got to go around sleeping with all these men just to get their money. And then she was broke when she came to town. So she had her last mark. The money didn't even last that long. And you sitting around here sleeping with all these men, and you still got to keep doing it because you never get enough. So who is the pathetic one? It don't sound like Danny to me. Next, Haley gave Danny some fake story about her dad leaving her mom and the family and how she thought her mom just wanted to be a wife and not a mother, and she couldn't understand how her mom was distant and drank herself into an early grave, and how she is so grateful for Danny and her family. And Danny was so nice to her. She told her she would never have to worry about being alone again. And unbeknownst to Danny, she was dealing with a snake, a dirty ass trifling snake. So Danny suggested to Bill to hire Haley as a receptionist, while Haley was at the dinner table sneaking looks at Bill. Danny's here offering this girl a job. Just treacherous and dirty. Next, Danny tells Andre she couldn't have been easier prey. She says who would have known that Haley would become her worst enemy. And that's so sad because she thought she was doing a good deed. And unbeknownst to her, she was dealing with a treacherous ass con artist. Next, Bill flashback to Haley's first day and how he was asking her how her day went, and the scam artist known as Haley starts talking about her blouse was too tight and how the other women in the firm dressed so conservatively. Well, she was talking about how the women in the office dress so conservatively and how she feels so out of place. And Bill tells her that she's a breath of fresh air. Yeah, of course she was, because he knew that he could get her ass to do anything he wanted her to do. Next, Randy tells Haley that by him telling her about Bill's ego, it helped her with securing her spot with Bill. And Haley talks about when Bill asked her to stay behind for a drink, and how he talked about what was her comments regarding his marriage and how his marriage was in trouble. And Naomi says that they haven't had a real marriage in years. And then Haley started with the he's a good man and he deserves better. And we all know what that leads to. And of course, they start kissing, and Bill tells Haley that he couldn't deny her anymore. What a male whore. And Randy tells her he bows to her expertise. Whatever. I hope she getting tested regularly, cause ugh. Next, Danny tells Andre about how Chelsea walked in on Bill and Haley in her parents' bedroom, and Chelsea tried to stop her mom from seeing Bill and Haley, but Danny walked in and called Bill a heartless bastard. And he was a cheap bastard because he couldn't get a room, or he was just so low down and dirty he just didn't give a damn if he was caught. So Danny told Bill that he had flings before, but Haley was different. That's so sad that Danny felt like she had to put up with Bill having flings on her. It must have been so humiliating. Next, Chelsea tells Naomi she never saw her dad be so cruel, and how he told Chelsea and Danny that Haley was his woman and that they were in love, and how he stood in front of Haley to protect her from Danny coming at her. And Chelsea said that he looked at Danny with hate in his eyes, and he probably did hate Danny because he knew he was doing wrong. He knew he wasn't right. So, of course, he's going to make Danny the villain because then he can justify what he's doing. Naomi says that she still believes that Haley is going to run off with a younger man. And, yeah, Haley don't want him. Next, Haley tells Randy how much Bill's whining kids gets on her nerves, and Randy tells her she can't get sloppy, and so Haley tells him don't worry about her. She got it. And that's the problem with her. She too confident. Honey, you don't know when the ball might drop, and it may not be in your favor. And all it takes is for Bill to wake his ass up, and she's in trouble. Next, Andre is such a good guy and husband. I hope Danny don't hurt him, but she will. And he tells her that she doesn't need to worry about him and that he's there for her and that it's grief and that what she's going through is grief and that she can't control it when it shows up. Well, he tells her you can't control grief when it shows up. You just got to deal with it. And then she tells him, how did she get so lucky? Exactly. And I just hate that he's going to get his heart broke. And that ends this episode.